Hello everyone, welcome to Agricultural Development Trust, Sharda Bai Pawar, Mahila Arts Commerce, Science College, Sharda Nagar, Baramati. I am Professor Poonam Mishra, brought for you the subject Secretarial Practice, in which we are learning chapter number 9, Business Communication Skill of Secretary. So the student secretary is a very important person for the business organization because his way of communication and his representation of everything will denote or will make the representation of company's image. So he should be very careful while doing any transaction, any communication with the member and outsider who are related to the company. So let's see the meaning and definition of business communication. Meaning, business communication is the branch of journal communication which is specially concerned with business activity. Business communication is conveying the message which is related to business activity. When communication takes place among the business entities, business parties concerning the business affair, concerning means related to the business affairs or business issues is known as a business communication. Means any communication which is related to the business activity which happens between the parties or entities is known as a business communication. Definition says, Brenner defines the business communication is the expression, channeling, receiving, interchanging of ideas in commerce and industry. It is just a means linking, channeling means linking, receiving means getting, interchanging means exchanging of the ideas in the commerce and industry is known as a communication. Students, actually basically types of communication for the business organization can be of two types. The first one will be internal communication and the second one will be external communication. So students, what is internal communication? Internal communication means within the business organization or within the business department. So any communication which is happening between the business department is known as a internal communication. Means there are various departments in any organization: sales department, advertisement department, marketing department, finance department, admin department. So any communication which is happening internally within the organization is known as an internal communication. Now what is external communication? So this communication basically happens with the outsiders, means the person who are out of the company but they are related to the company's affairs and they are related to the company in the form of shareholders, in the form of directors, in the form of creditors. So whosoever is related to the company but they are not working in the company, so that the communication with them will be known as a external communication. So in one word, external communication can be termed as outsiders. So outsiders communication is known as a external. So simply internal communication is a departmental communication and external communication is outsiders communication. Now students will see how many method can be used for the communication. As you might have learned this earlier in your school days, what are the methods of communication, by how many way we can convey, we can send our message to anyone. So method of the communication refers to the path or the medium through which the message passes from one person to other. Communication can be either verbal, so verbal is also known as a oral, and non-verbal is also known as a written communication. So communication can be given in the two way, orally or in written, means verbally or non-verbally. So let's see what is verbal or oral communication. In this, the process of communication, conveying a message is spoken means the words the message comes from the mouth, the words come from the mouth and it is It is spoken by the person, so it is known as a oral or verbal communication. Oral communication take place in a different way, such as a personal talks. As you know, student, that you do the personal talks with your friends. Sometimes you conduct or you go for the interview, you give the speech, you talk on the telephone. So these are the example of oral and verbal communication. Next is non-verbal communication, in which no mouth word will be or spoken words will be used, only the written words will be used. So man does not communicate through words alone. Man does not communicate only through the words. They also communicate with the writing. So speaking and listening. So sometimes if they are speaking something, they are listening something, they are also conveying some message to the front person. So there is another aspects of communication, that is non-verbal aspects. Non-verbal communication is defined as communication that involves neither written or nor the spoken words. Here you can see non-verbal communication is a communication which is not written. It means nothing will be written to convey the message, nothing will be spoken to convey the message, but the message will send or message will pass to the front person. So non-verbal communication take place in a different way, such as sometimes you give the body language, you give the facial expression of sad, happiness, your eye contact. If you are maintaining the proper eye contact with your teacher, it means you are understanding it. So you are conveying the message to the teacher that you are understanding. If your facial expression is nice, that it means you are happy. If your facial expression is not good, it means you are sad. If you are silent, it means you are thinking something. So it is also one kind of message. If you use some symbols, full stop, exclamation mark, question mark in your WhatsApp chatting, you use sometimes symbols. So that symbol also gives some message to the front person. So we see in the at in your college premises, you might have seen the canteen facility. So you just read the board and you just go. Sometimes the pictures are drawn, and from that picture you come to know the meaning. So that is known as a symbols, sign, gestures, your expressions, your body posture is also the method of communication. So in this kind of non-verbal communication, no written words or spoken words are used, only the language, facial expression, eye contact, silence, symbols, signs, gesture will be used. Now student, written communication, you might have learned about it very perfectly earlier. So when exchange of information or idea is in the written form, when something is in a written form rather than by the spoken word, is known as a written communication. Written communication includes the reports, letters, circulars, newspaper, magazine, everything which is written on the paper is a written communication. So the choice of words should be made carefully in the written communication, because it is printed permanently. Once you write it, it is printed forever. So you should be careful while choosing your words. Okay, so and the word should be such a way to convey a specific meaning and not confuse the reader. So the double meaning word should be avoided. So many meaning, a word might have 1 or 2 or 3 meanings. Sometimes that word should be avoided, and the clear word should be used while writing the written communication. Doing the written communication, as far as possible, message should be in short sentences, so that the receiver has no any difficulty in finding their true meaning of the message. Now students, will see what are the benefit of the written communication. You have now understood what is written communication. Any written word or written paper or any written format of anything, circular, notes, notebook, magazines, books, letter, these are the examples of written communication. So what are the benefit we can get from the written communication? So here are they. First, accurate and precise. So written communication is written with the great care by the secretary, so it is very accurate and very clear. So written communication is usually drafted with a great care, since written communication is open to the verification, and authenticity means trueness and correctness can be easily challenged. If it is incorrect, if it is not verified, so it can be challenged, and it can be forwarded to the writer, it means to the secretary. So the communicator has to be very accurate and factual while doing the written communication. Reread many times. If you have not understood the message written on a paper in one go, you can reread it. So it can be you can have the advantage of repetitive reading of that content. So the receiver of the written communication can go over the message at any time again in the future, and he can reread till he thinks he has properly understood it. Okay, since you are not satisfied that with the message, or you have not understood the message, you can reread it, that written communication, and it is a record which is already kept, which is already with you. Permanent record. Yes, the written communication is also termed as a permanent record. Written communication becomes a permanent record once it is written by the secretary and signed by the secretary and stamped by the common seal of the company. So it can be proved very useful for the future reference and future use as well. Next is a documentary evidence. Written communication is a proof, evidence. Document proof is acceptable as a legal document in the legal evidence also. So it is very important one. Wide access, anyone at any time can access this. So written communication is the best channel of communication for conveying the information to the person living at a different places. So it is very easiest and convenient mode of communication to the remote people who are staying far away from the actual place of communication. No need for personal contact. Yes, it is not necessary for sending the written message or written communication. You should be present, or you should have the personal contact with that person. So both parties to be available at the time of communication. Means if I am sending one message on a WhatsApp, it's not necessary that you student should be available on that time only. If I have written and posted it on the WhatsApp, or I have sent one letter to you, so it will be received by you later on, and my message is being sent by me. So no need of personal contact, means no need that of a receiver and sender should present personally at the time of communication. So it is because under this form of communication, message can be sent to the concerned person, which can be read when the receiver gets spare time. Means whenever you are free, you can read that communication. Completeness. So in this, the complete message can be forwarded. Written messages are prepared with the perfect knowledge of the things and concerning the matter. So there is a completeness in the message. Economical, cheap, okay, affordable, okay, fit to the pocket, less expensive, we can say. Economical means less expensive. So if the receiver of the message is at far away place, then this method is economical. You need not to travel to that place where the receiver is staying. You can send your message via letter, via fax, through email or WhatsApp. So there is no need to you that the secretary should expend so much money to reach out there. So the courier and postal charges are very few and very less. So it is economical way of sending the message. So nowadays email are more popular method of written communication. Now next question, we will see business letter, students. What is the business letter? You know the business, we are learning how the secretary should do his business communication with the outsiders. So in that, business letter forms a very important part, because the secretary only the person who create the business letter. So he should take care of that what are the contents should be there in the business letter. So we should know what is business letter. The business letter is a type of written communication written by the secretary. Good letter writing is important for maintaining the image of the business in the minds of the person related or in the minds of receiver or or the person outsider of the company, for the company. So definition: Robert Shurter defines the business correspondence as, or business letters as, business correspondence is a message that attempt means try, to impact, to influence its recipient to make some actions or attitude or desired by the sender. So here the message will be sent or letter will be sent in such a way that the front person or the recipient of the letter should be impacted, should be influenced, and he should take the action or give some result or desired result to the sender. Students, you can see how the letter is formed and should be created. So here is a layout of the business letter, in which you can see that the heading, the heading should be, means for what purpose, which kind of letter it is, then name and address, whether it is call letter, whether it is allotment letter, whether it is report of absent at the board meeting. So the title should be there, some heading should be there. After that, the name and address of the company, then the corporate identification number, which is very important, then the company's telephone number, company's fax number, and the reference number of the meeting. The reference number will be written of the meeting. Okay. Then inside address means to whom the letter is written, that person's name and address will be shown in the inside address. Okay students, now right hand side, email, website of the company, and the date of the letter will be written. After that, salutation. Previously, mostly a respectable word was used as a salutation for the business or professional letter. Now the salutation can be used as a dear. Most of the business letter, they use the salutation as a dear. Okay, before the salutation, the letter subject should be written in the center. So for which purpose this letter is being written, and the subject should always be short and complete. It should not be too long. Body of the letter. So main body of the letter include 3 stages. Introduction. So why this letter is written, whom this letter is written. Okay, whom this letter is written, and after that, when the things has happened. So what, who, when, this will be the introduction part, means why the letter is written, who is writing the letter, to whom and when. The main paragraph will be related to your subject only. So whatever the subject you have written, for that you will give the detailed explanation in the main paragraph. And in the last paragraph, you need or you request what you want from the receiver. So request will be done to that person. So request will be done for sending the information, for attending the meeting, for anything. So request will be done in the concluding paragraph. What you want from the receiver will be there in the concluding paragraph. Main paragraph related to subject with great detail, with high detail, and the first will be the why, who and when you will introduce for the letter. After that, you will give one complimentary close thanking you and all, and after that the signature, who has written the letter, secretary, and common seal of the company. Enclosure means the attachment. Okay students, so the attachment whatever is there should be written in the whatever the attachment is there with this letter will be written or will be written below the enclosure. So attachment, enclosure, attachment will be written after the signature and CC, and for whom also it is referable, that is should be written in the CC. Now students, what is the essential thing of a good business letter? How a business letter can be termed as a good business letter? So here are the few points we will study. A business letter should possess the following qualities to call it a business letter. Clarity should be there. Conciseness means it should be short and complete. Minimum words should be used and irrelevant information should be avoided. Completeness, a letter must give the complete information related to the topic. Whatever the topic is being chosen to write the letter or subject of the letter, for that the complete information should be given. So there should not be any query by the receiver after receiving the letter. So that is known as a completeness of the letter. Next is a courtesy. Courtesy means student polite word. So the writer or the secretary of the letter or the secretary of the company should use the polite word while writing the letter. So courteous language of the letter must be polite and kind, and the courteous letter get the favorable responses from the reader. Harsh, rude word, insulting remarks should be avoided. Next is coherence. Means the letter should be written in a logical sequence. So student, coherence means step by step, you can say step by step. So the letter should be written step by step, okay, in a sequential order. There should not be any confusion. So if the serially it is presented in the letter, so reader will understand the message very easily. So coherence means step by step. A letter should be written in a logical sequence. The message should be divided into different paragraphs. All paragraphs should be arranged logically and connected to each other. Consideration means something should be think before writing. So thought, if you are writing something, you should keep some thought in your mind. What kind of thought a secretary should keep while writing the letter? What kind of thought he should keep? So he should keep the thought of you attitude. You attitude means he should give the great importance to the receiver only. So this is also called as a you attitude. The letter should be written from the reader point of view, and the writer should give due importance and consideration to the reader and consider the problem of the reader. So the reader has to be motivated to act after reading the content of the letter. Next, cheerfulness. Okay, cheerful, motivated. So after reading the letter, the reader should be motivated to reply on it. He should be motivated quickly, so he will give the feedback very quickly to the sender, so the secretary can get his desired result as and when required by him. So cheerfulness means the reader should feel motivated. A business letter should be cheerful. A cheerful letter is positive and it shows the spirit of hopefulness, and the letter writer should avoid the negative word and sentence from the letter. So these are the 8 essential things for good business letter. Students, you should take care of this and you should read this question very carefully. Now, physical appearance of the business letter. Now student, this question is not so much important, but I wanted to share you the heading and to tell you about for the heading only, because physical appearance, you know, if the presentation is not good, nobody will read your letter, nobody will read your document. So how the letter should reveal or should look physically? So when the letter or any communication content comes in front of the reader, he will not start reading unless it is attractive. So your physical appearance of the letter should be attractive. And what are the few things should be considered while preparing the letter? So first one is of paper. The paper should be of good quality, and that should be used and usable for very easily by the readers, and it should not be of the bad quality. Next, typing. So now, previously all the message or something was later were written via pen or handwritten content were in the use. Nowadays typing is a popular method of writing the communication. If the letter is properly typed, so there will not be any confusion for understanding the message. Next is margin. Yes, you should not keep so much space for the margin, or you should not keep so much less space for the margin. So there should be the good margin, and that will create a good impression on the reader. Next is a spacing. Yes, spacing should not be so big and so small. If the big spacing is there, it will not be related to the sentence. Means one word is so far away from the another words. For example, you can say if the one word is written here and the another word is written here, so spacing is not good. If one word is written here and the another word is written here, means the spacing is good. After that, letterhead. Yes, first of all, the for first appearance of the letter should reveal with the letterhead. If the letterhead is not there, nobody will can judge that that letter is important to them or not. Due to the letterhead, they will come to know for which group of the people or group of the member this letter is important. So letterhead is very important. Next, folding. Yes, too many folding should not be there. Minimum 2 or maximum 3 folding are used for nowadays letter. So too many folding will destroy the content of the letter. So folding should be good. Next is a envelope. Yes, students, so envelope should be the nice one, and with a great quality of the paper. And nowadays the window envelope are used. So in the window box, transparent paper is sticked. So the receiver and the title of the letter is directly revealed on the window envelope. So no need to open the envelope. If someone doesn't feel that it is for me or it is not for my use, he can or she can send that envelope to anyone whosoever is related to that letter. So envelope, letterhead, typing, margin, folding, spacing, paper, these all are the things which helps for creating the physical appearance of the business letter. And if it is properly done, then the letter will look good and attractive, and the reader will motivated to read it quickly. Hope you have understood the 9th chapter. Students, please read these questions, and if you have not written the notes for it, please write it. Keep doing a study at home. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.